Okay then folks, we finally have my iPhone stuff. Let me make sure the microphone's all good, we're all good, we're in frame. Just went and picked up, I'll show you what I picked up. iPhone 17 Pro in silver, iPhone 17 Air in space black, yes, space black. iPhone 17 Pro in orange, I'm really interested to see what this color is like. And then we also have the iPhone Air battery as well. We'll start off with the iPhone 17 Pro unboxing and first impressions, and then we'll move over to the iPhone Air. Silver is probably going to be the one that I personally go for. It's going to be the one that I use. I'm really into silver again now. I think silver right now is the color. Silver has really come back in, I think. So I think it looks awesome. The packaging for these is actually a bit shiny. It almost has like a foil. I don't want to say it's like a full-on foil effect, but there is a foily sort of effect to it. Let's start with the silver model. Okay, that looks clean. That looks so clean. I really like the look of that. I think it looks awesome. If we get it out. This is a eSIM model. So something which I don't think a lot of people realize is that if you have a model that has a SIM card slot, it actually reduces battery life. Not by too much, maybe a couple of hours, but that's something to keep in mind. I actually think it's worth just going for the full eSIM model. Forget the SIM card slot. I think most countries now can do eSIM. So yeah, if you want the extra battery life, make sure to go for the fully eSIM model so that you just get that bigger battery. Inside, of course, there is nothing else. No SIM card ejector tool or whatever, and then an braided USB-C cable. So I really like the look of this. I think it looks awesome. I like the two-tone colorway on here. I love the silver finish. This massive camera bump now is, let's just say it's interesting. I actually think the aesthetics of this phone aren't as nice as previous phones. I actually have, where is my previous phone? Here we go. I don't think it looks as clean. So this is the natural titanium, so you guys can see the color difference. I don't think it looks as clean, but I can see why Apple have done it because the phone is thicker than the previous model. So that means a bigger battery, better heat dissipation, better just management of heat in general. They've moved, of course, from titanium to aluminium because aluminium is just better for managing heat. And I think that makes sense. You know, for a Pro model, I'm happy to have the aesthetics not be as good if it means that we get a better phone, a better overall phone, a better overall experience. This part here, I think is glass from what I can remember. And the reason why we have this part here is so that we can still have the MagSafe charging, the wireless charging, because that doesn't work through metal, of course. So you've got to have this here. Not everyone is a fan of the look. I think it looks good. Does it look stunning? Does it look amazing? Probably not, but I do think it still looks good. I still think the natural titanium looks better. I like the natural titanium. I think that looks cleaner, looks more elegant, looks more expensive, looks more luxury. This looks more utilitarian to me. It looks a lot more rugged. It looks a lot more like it can do pro stuff. If we peel this off, lovely. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in this wallpaper that I have here, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. If we look at them side on like this, you can see the sort of shininess has gone. Like it's a lot more of a matte finish on the aluminium 17 Pro compared to the titanium 16 Pro. We of course have a cutout here. As you guys can see, this cutout is for the antennas. I think that is pretty ugly, but I can understand why they've had to do it. Otherwise, how else would the antennas work? Now let's get into the cosmic orange one and compare it alongside the silver, because I think a lot of people will be trying to decide between these two colors. Of course, there's no black this year. I'm not as disappointed as I thought I would be. I think I would actually still go for the silver, even if there was a black version. I'm just really liking silver right now. I think silver looks good. But let's look at the cosmic orange because this is my first look at it, first impressions of it. I haven't seen it in real life. I don't know what it's like. I don't like it. I was hoping that it would be a bit more copper looking. Maybe I was hoping for a bit more reddish to it, but this shade I've got video lighting, which is of course very accurate. So it shows me what the color actually looks like. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. I'm not sure I like it that much. I'm glad I haven't made this my phone. This two-tone colorway as well. On camera, it's a lot more pronounced, I've found. This looks a lot lighter colored, but in real life, it's not as lighter colored. It blends in a lot more. Yeah, that's such a shame. I'm not a fan of this color. I don't like it. Compared to the silver just looks better. The silver looks cleaner, looks nicer, it just looks a lot more professional. This is personal preference, right? If you like orange, get the orange. It's just my personal preference that I prefer the silver. I think it looks cleaner. I also see the other side though, because people have been asking for brightly colored Pro phones for years. The Pro phones have always been very subdued, very neutral colors. I can see why Apple has done something here, which is very bold, very different. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would prefer. I don't have the black midnight blue or whatever it is because I don't like that shade of blue at all. And it scratches quite easily from what I can see online and stuff. I'm just not a fan of that color. If you are interested in getting some cases for your phones, D-Brand, who are sponsoring this video, have just released this new tank case, which is really a tank. Like, this is built to last, you can just tell. Very tanky case. And then they also have the clear case. If you want something that's a bit more minimal and a bit cleaner, they also have this clear case as well. I'll leave a link to them down in the description below. And I'll also have a discount code which you can use to get, I think, the screen protector and a case as well for like quite a heavy discount. I'll leave a link to everything down in the description. And I forgot to show you guys this. They also have different colors for the buttons. So you can change the colors of the buttons. So this could match the cosmic orange. You can see that matches quite well. If you have a cosmic orange iPhone and you want the buttons to match, you can change them out with these buttons that they have. I'll leave a link to everything down in the description below. The one thing I was hoping that Apple would do that they haven't done is update the main camera sensor. The main camera sensor now, I think, is actually the same camera sensor from like 3 generations ago. The sensor hasn't actually changed. Now, of course, they have updated the other cameras. All of the cameras now are 48 megapixels, which is really nice to see because that also means the telephoto, which is now 4 times rather than a 5 times compared to the 16 Pro, can now zoom into 8 times because, of course, it can crop in to get that 8 times zoom. 8 times sort of digital optical crop, whatever Apple like to call it, but it is really a sort of like a digital crop. That's a really nice feature to have because obviously I love taking pictures. I'm obsessed with trying to get the best quality pictures out of the iPhone. I have a sort of camera settings video that I do every year. I'll have another one coming soon for those interested. Basically just sharing what camera settings I use to get the best quality images. So it's nice to see all of the cameras now 48 megapixel. We also have a much better selfie camera, which is now a square camera. So you can take portrait selfies and landscape selfies without actually having to rotate your phone. Amazing. Thank God, because I hated the selfie camera on the other phones. I never used it. I never ever used it because I just wasn't a fan of it. Unless I was just taking pictures with friends very quickly. But for like posting online and stuff, I just thought the quality was just not that great. So it's nice to see Apple have updated that to have a much better selfie camera. People who like to take selfies, you're going to be very happy here. Other changes also include the brightness of the display now going up to 3000 nits, which is going to make a big difference when you're trying to use your phone outside. However, we do know that iPhones have a tendency to lower the brightness when it gets hot outside, when the phone gets hot. I want to see if they've improved that because, of course, for someone like me living in Dubai where it is always hot outside, having the screen dim because of the heat can make it difficult to see what's going on the screen, to see what's going on my phone. With the vapor chamber on here, with the updated chip and stuff, I'm hoping that the brightness of the display doesn't reduce so much when it comes to any heat. We also now have 12 gigabytes of RAM. So that is a big change because now we've gone from 8 gigabytes to 12 gigabytes, and that is the same across all of the Pro phones. You get 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's nice to see. I think the Air also has 12 gigabytes of RAM. So yeah, let me know in the comments below which color you like the most. Another thing I actually completely forgot to mention is that I always prefer the Pro size models. The Pro Max size models are just a bit too big for me. I don't need the extra battery life or anything like that. But other than that, the Pro Max and the Pro, they have pretty much all the same features. So yeah, I just prefer the size of the Pro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.